Greetings everyone, please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like Rumble is starting on up, Twitch starting on up, Twitter is going. YouTube is going. Looks like everything's starting on up. Time to activate the chat windows. There we go. And looks like that's setting up. And yep, give me another moment to check my other computer just to make sure I have a backup stream viewing just in case. And looks like everything's going good over there, so let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on top left side as the blue Japanese, got VES and Totan. Spawn on bottom right side as the green Delhi's Sultanate, we got L, Louis, MT. Of course, got the moss going up. P-Core is playing Delhi's Sultanate, which means advanced berries get increased collection rate. The Japanese can accomplish the same thing with the Tal Wa Ra, or however you pronounce that, as well. Basically level 1 wheelbarrow, or sure, say 1/2 wheelbarrow with berry collection. When it comes to map generation here, something I'm meeting notice as well. It looks like Green had all of his berries and deer spawn relatively close by. Blue's counterpart did spawn more in the corner, which may make it safer, especially with this nearby mountainside. Bit of walls there, helps secure it on up. And oh yeah, there's a lot of food on this map. I think a lot of multiplayer maps do well when they have a lot of excess food. Wait, does it seem imbalanced the food? I see one large, 2 smalls, 1 large. See, 1 large, 1 small that spawned actually really close by to Green's Town Center. 1 large, 1 small. Okay, that's equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's include this one. Okay, it looks like it is relatively even. I don't know why. It just seems a little off because I see 1 boar, 1 deer as opposed to everything in half and half roughly. Start overthinking some stuff. Sometimes you just have to count stuff and see if anything's different. We have now the Kira Storehouse being deployed in the field as a Dome of the Faith. Dome of the Faith gives you access to bargain bin scholars, while Kira Storehouse does give access to free farms, which is nice, as well as eventually a bit of wood trickle as well as 4 villager storage. That's assumed it's still there. Unusual reason thing have 3 arrows villagers, or 4 villager storage, but they don't provide any arrows. I don't know, that's just a weird benefit about this landmark. But, and the thing as well, there's a lot of natural food in the map, so maybe not really necessary to go to the free farms. So it's always a good idea to get those generated nice and early. Makes your need to consume the field of food a little bit slower. You now have the Daimyo Manor now queued on up, as well as the stable and field. You may go for the armored bannerman, the mounted bannerman. One way that the Japanese get a heavy cavalry in Age 2. Barracks now being built as well. Scout down south, and Daimyo Manor is not complete. Now you can afford 1 bannerman. Japanese players also can afford 1 horseman as well. Of course, green has a large number of research going. Of course, that's just Delhi's Sultanate in a nutshell. I don't see the mounted Bannerman just yet. You can see he has one total Bannerman. And the Bannerman does cost the same as a Mounted Samurai. I think almost identical to a Mounted Samurai, barring the fact that it does provide that aura benefit. I think statistically everything else it is the same as well. Going with the Yuma Bannerman now. You have some Ghazi Raiders, which is a cavalry that hits harder but slower. Scout does take a shot there. You can see here the regular horseman has 9 damage with slightly faster attack speed opposed to Ghazi Raider, who has 12 damage and a 2-second attack speed. So roughly per 0.25, I'm trying to distill it down the damage comparison between the two. If you round it divided by in 2.5 segment, which is 10 over 7 versus 12 over 8. So the, which is a rate of 1/2. Yep, so the Ghazi Raiders do have ever so slightly higher DPS. It's very slight. There's need to get +2 versus bonus versus heavy, making it a little bit more effective. Not only hits harder but slower, it also hits even harder. So making it okay versus heavy targets. Not super great, it's more of just a soft counter rather than a hard counter. Still only has +9 for siege, so it's not doesn't get as much bonus damage, so the bonus damage may be equal or inferior to against siege. Not a big issue, since usually siege weapons are either alive or dead, not really in between. Ghazi Raiders being supported by a good number of scholars. We've got some archers here. Good number of horsemen supported by a Bannerman. The Bannerman's really providing such a firepower, getting also +4 damage himself, so he himself has 20 damage and a good heavy cavalry attack speed. Ghazi Raiders engaging the horsemen. These Ghazi Raiders will fall back. He has scholars to heal them up. That's why he's trying to save them. Why just keep them up in the town center? More of the archers going down. You can't really save the archers. You can try saving the horsemen. Scout is alive, so Scout drew quite a bit of fire there. More of the Japanese horsemen advance way forward. Green Scout does go down. One Ghazi Raider there, and looks like the rest of these scholars may be going down. A couple of these Ghazi Raiders are severely wounded, so need to fall back to a fresh scholar. There's a couple scholars there. I think he unloaded them from that mosque to get the healing going. Archers firing away. Japanese player does not have any additional range armor, and the Delhi Sultanate player does not have any additional range damage at the moment, so completely normal there. And overall, looks like blue has a higher destroyed value than green, so a very good engagement there by blue. Ghazi Raiders do offer cost 140 rather than 120, so a little bit more expensive. I don't think they... Let's see, they do also offer a little bit of health well. I haven't really sat down to the map see comparing the two. I think Ghazi Raiders are worth the price, but they're not spectacular unique unit. They're probably more of a side grade in the end. Not a better or worse, other than able to be a little bit more effective versus heavy targets. Okay, was it going for the floating gate? I first saw Temple of Quality there. That made a misclick, or maybe just a second guess. So Japanese players now aging on up. The Delhi Sultanate players are very far from aging up, going for a large number of archers. In fact, falling back to the free Shinto priest will come out very soon. Wouldn't be half bad to get these horsemen healed on up. Farmhouse now being established. Floating gate almost completed. Now Japanese player has aged on up. I wonder if that first Yoshiro will be going to a stable. May want to cancel the Map Samurai or try to go for the veteran horseman first. Got Ghazi Raiders raiding the villagers. 4 of them does inside of the outpost. I do think the Japanese player really needs out Veteran Horseman pretty quickly. It is... How expensive is Veteran Horseman again? All those upgrades that you should just tap and grab cost 250 gold, which so the Japanese player does not have enough gold for it. Could cancel this Mounted Samurai get enough gold for it, but it's running low on food and gold. Guys are just sitting and fighting. There are good number of archers here. They do have +1 damage. Japanese does have +1 range armor. Can go for another +1 range armor. Well, I better go for that rather than additional damage. Right now, his horseman doing 12 damage, which is opponent's archer getting an extra damage for not helping out. So +1 range armor would be very helpful. Got a Wolo over there, which may not obtain those units. Horsemen straight forward. They're still just regular horsemen. They were pretty wounded upon advancing. The mounted samurai are falling back while the remaining horseman does trap the bannerman. A number of hardened spearmen. And now to the House of Learning, which will give them access to 5 unique research, or was it 6 unique research, I should say. I remember when it was 5, then it got increased to 6. A lot of things I always forget which things are changed within the patches, because I still call a lot of like Order of the Dragon stuff by the original name, like Dragon Cannoneers, Dragon Villagers, when now they actually just had the standardized name of Gilded. Either way, we do now have the Veteran Archer, a lot of research, just to say there's a lot of research queued on up. It's Deadly Soul, just queue up all the research. You'll get it eventually. Currently right now he does have total scholars garrison 0, active team research items. Oh, there we go. Scholars inside the mosques. And looks like Green does get some venison on in with his free Professor Scout. And these villagers now being pursued. Guys are just trying to protect them. Of course, he's going to be a bit far away from getting veteran research. Coming in Captain Gage with feudal age units against castle age heavies. Now we do have another elephant deployed in the field. Or not another, but a elephant. Elephants do have bonus damage versus cavalry with the back spearmen, so he will be effective with these mounted samurai. Gotta make sure he disables the deflection with his archers and other units. We do have now some crossbowmans being deployed in the field. Got the Holden Blades, giving his man-at-arms and lances +3 damage. And here's the thing as well, if the Deadly Soul would have gone for the other Age 2 landmark, the Tower of Victory, you can get some extremely nice man-at-arms with the House of Learning's Honed Blades and the increased attack speed for your man-at-arms. This Wolo there's meant to ward away these units, does have enough units there to kill it off immediately. Mounted Samurai pursuing the guys raiders. Mounted Samurai will win that fight. Takes out some of these villagers there. Bit of trample on the elephant. I see these 2 wounded Mounted Samurai should just be rallied on back. You can just simply move their order across the edge of the map and get back over here. Just getting them safe will save them 200 or 500 resources, which is quite significant. Gazi Raiders being engaged by the Mounted Samurai, getting a lot of good hits there by the Mounted Samurai. Almost killing off this entire formation. We do now have the Pocky's research, giving his archers and crossbow plus 5.05 range. So giving some pretty nice crossbow, especially particularly if he went for the Tower of Wonders, but he did not. Pumbaa has been slain. 10 villagers there, so 2 of them needs to be passed on off. Maybe 2 to collect us some delicious venison. Got some Onimusha now being pulled in the field. Remember as well, the war elephants are classified as heavy. I wonder if they haven't fixed the bug within the replay viewer where you see a gunpowder tower elephant being tripled up here. They did a lot of updates to the viewer. I wonder if that will be caught in the last time they updated the UI, the replay UI. I'm glad they put some effort to not only update this, but also even just improved on it. I would be fine with just an update before fixing all the bugs, but they went beyond that and did a lot of improvements, because I remember when the number of Bannerman or this up here was not exposed. One Spring Golem placement there. May get one more shot off, and does get impaled. Ooh, these guys are wounded. May not be a good idea to send these guys forward. Got some of these villagers now being pursued by the Mounted Samurai. Got some archers here, which is not great. Got a single crossbowman, simply not going to be enough. There's a round of crossbowmen. Does gun down. One of the samurai. 2 of them get severely wounded. Fall back to a Shinto priest. We do now have multiple of the veteran Ghazi raiders going on down. Blue has a massive amount of force. Even go for some supplementary horsemen. It's not a bad idea for all the crossbowmen. Onimushas are a mounted archer, which replaces the Japanese crossbowmen. They're not... I'm always a little bit indifferent about them. They feel a little bit on the weak side. They have less space damage. They still have... I think they have less bonus versus heavy, right? Yep, we'll buy 1. Nothing too sifted there. Party rations being queued on up. Palace of Sultan being pulled in the field, which is the gunpowder elephants. I guess we'll figure out soon enough if the one gunpowder elephant bug has been fixed. We do have 3 war elephants pulled in by green. There's 2 of them there. Even though the mass elephant and get healed by Scholar has been toned down to a certain degree, it's still very difficult to stop a stampede of elephants. They're highly population efficient. We do now have the lots of research being queued on up. The Mounthouse as well. Gives elephants plus 10% movement speed, which is not too significant, but it actually makes his elephants move in formation better. While slowing down the formation ever so slightly. Improves the war elephant's move speed to 1.1. In comparison to a crossbowman, has a move of 1.12, making them very, very similar to say the least. I'm about to sneeze. Sneeze is not coming out, my apologies. We got a Diamond Palace there, which also improves the collection rate of nearby farmers by 60%. Not too many farms at the moment. He is still devouring all delicious food on the field. There's actually still some good deposits here. This map is loaded on food, and I would find the maps that have a lot of food on the field are actually really good maps. They feel better to play on. Since some civilizations really do have powerful farming and they do well in maps with not a lot of food on the map, because they can rely on that better, while the other civilizations just sort of get screwed. While if there's a lot of food on the map, all the civilizations can generally make good use of the food. So I always find the maps of good food are the better maps. We now have Castle the Crow being deployed on the field. That's a relatively rare landmark. In this case, it will be quite nice to get some shipments in from this trading post. The others go from this trading post as well, which is probably not a good idea. Guys, who are just engaged in the Mount Samurai should be able to be taken out there. You now have the Elite Onimusha upgrade. You know, I don't know the last time I've even seen an Elite Onimusha upgrade, because usually they're just only deployed in Castle Age. And they just had to go for the Tengashima Gunsmith gunpowder units. Yeah, and since he went for Castle Crow, he may actually rely on the anti-armor. But of course, the Tower Elephants of the... Wait, I meant that as a joke. Unless that was a purposeful scout, I don't think it's automatically casted. That had to have been on purpose. That had to have been purposeful scout. A very valuable purple scout. I didn't see how much resources it carries, but it's like 2,000 resources. It's actually really absurd how much, but the deployment is pretty slow. If I'm not battling this out, I would say reduce the amount of resource drop-off, but reduce the caravan timer, say, to 60 seconds rather than 3 minutes. Well, no, 300 seconds, 5 minutes. Because also sort of feels weird that there's a caravan carrying that much on such a small model. I don't know, it just... I think the faster shipment, rebalance towards faster shipments would be a little bit more... better balance. Since you can more gauge how much resources you get every 6 seconds rather than a massive pile of resources every 5 minutes. Either way, Dr. Mounted Samurai is over here, quite wounded. He has gone for Elite Mounted Samurai and as well as Elite Onimusha. Elite Onimusha, there they are. Right now, they're causing 5 cavalry damage. And right now, they have 16 damage, 13 base damage. And those gunpowder elephants have been fixed. Upon the tower elephants, their armor kit to absurd amounts, like 14 range armor. This Japanese player needs to get a good condition of spearmen, honestly. Because the elephant play, tower elephant play, does not like to go down all too quickly. War elephants can go down a bit more easily since they have more counters in the form of crossbowmen. Tower elephants, they counter almost every single range unit because they have super high range armor. Including hand cannoneer units just don't do enough versus them. Horsemen are a counter to the tower elephants. Well, they do get bonus versus range, and tower elephants are classified as range. But still be a good idea to get a good large contingent of spearmen. Mounted Samurai taking a bit of damage here. Gunpowder elephants going for a bit of a drive-by. Got some elite crossbowmen. They do, of course, have plus 0.5 range. Now got some hand cannoneer Ashigaru, which are completely normal to regular hand cannoneers, if I remember correctly, even though they have a bit of a different name than hand cannoneer. It's just probably a bit more reference probably to other Age of Empires games, such as Age of Empires 3, since you got the Musketeer Ashigarus and the Yumi archers in this game are called Yumi Ashigarus, right? What's the term Ashigaru even stand for? Either way, good damage there. The rock emplacement does do massive bonus damage versus cavalry. That does say out of range. That sounds like the Shogunate Palace now available. Now the samurai pushing their way forward. We do now have the Yakari Ire now being researched, level 4 melee damage. And looks like the Japanese player is blowing out a bombard and has a good number of hand cannoneers in the field. Green right now has 102 villagers in the field. Blue only has 99. A lot of attack markers. Let's just push forward over here. We do have these guys up here. Got a keep here. It does have the village fortress, so it has extra villager production. Blue's now pushing forward with a decent sized army. Bombard here as well. Crossbowmen and elephants need to start backing off. They're taking a bit of damage here. Crossbowmen should just start firing away, of course, which they are. Scars get some healing, but right now Blue has a pretty size, large force here. Elephants are disintegrated a little bit. Guys are just trying to hit that bombard. Still got a good number of these mounted samurai here. And overall, the sheer quality of Blue's army managed to get some great damage done. These samurai pushing the way forward, but now Green has a value of 7,000 field versus 12,000. Gunpowder elephant goes for drive-bys. The crossbows start being picked on off. And Green does back the game now. This is great scene. Thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Wait, did I hit the restart button or did I hit quit? I'm an idiot. Was not paying attention. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead. Come on up. See, that was this one here. Avoid the custom maps, since I tend to have trouble downloading those download the custom maps. Let's see, this is 16th. I may have done this one last week. Let's see, 16th is Friday last week, so I probably actually have already done that replay. So let's find another player. Is this the player I'm looking for? Yes. And here we go. This should be adequate. It's been a while since I last cast Roos. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. I'm trying to say Age of Mythology. Spawn top left side as the Blue Roost, we got a foreign name. Spawn bottom right side is the green French. We got LCSO. Either way, when it comes to map generation, let's see. French does not have advanced berries, but they do have possible trading stuff. Trading posts are all along the side, and there's plenty of open ground between the two. So possible Chamber of Commerce, but let's be honest, it's not going to be a Chamber of Commerce. We do have a deer deposit next to a boar, so decent amount of food right there. There's other deer deposits spawned up north, a little bit more exposed. A decent amount of gold over here. The Roost Players probably gonna go for professional scouts to the trade bounty system, get some extra gold to collect all that delicious venison. Let's see, got a couple good large gold deposits over here, so this map's gonna be more left focused, though. We may see the Kremlin right here. There's two gold deposits right next to each other. Can't say exactly sure. Golden Gate is a good landmark. Kremlin sort of has fallen out of favor since now the militiamen have not to disintegrate over time like in Age of Empires 3. Skull Cavalry and the Golden Gate both being employed in the field. Golden Gate is a very flexible landmark. A lot of things you can do. You can fuel your aggression, or fuel your expansion, or fuel your fast age up. We'll probably see the high trade, not high trade tower, high trade post. What am I thinking? Okay, my mind's drawing blank. We're probably close to the Abbey Monastery, but we're probably going to see the advanced. I cannot think what that landmark is called. No. High trade post? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know why. My mind is drawing blank when trying to think what the Age 3 landmark is. We do have now professional scouts being researched by the French. The Rus may eye for high trade post or high professional scouts. Blah. My mind is melted. I cannot think right now. He has obtained the abandoned outpost, so it's no longer abandoned. Has obtained both abandoned outposts. Yeah, High Trade House. Why did I not think of that name? And looks like Blue's also going for professional scouts, getting the hardened spearman just to ward to protect his deer deposit. We got 2 scouts versus 1 scout, and now an angry man with a pointy stick. And I was going to start obtaining this venison there. I can slow down a little bit past the eco phase. Now it's time for aggression. Royal Knights now pulling the field, which can 1v1 a spearman. Doesn't get a charge attack there, going for a general attack. We do now have more spearmen being deployed in the field by the Roost. Not a big surprise. He wants to protect his venison. This venison's not only delicious, it's quite valuable. More food and more gold collection is what I'm trying to say. We also have now the wooden fortress here. Increase the wood drop off. And we do have, looks like this deer deposit is being grabbed by green, while the southern deer deposit is being grabbed by blue. More spearmen pushing down south. It may just be a move towards his opponent's deer deposit. Good number of Royal Knights in the field, but still be a good idea if the Roost Player to go for Spearmint. Though you can always employ some Early Knights. Early Knights only ever so slightly less worse than Royal Knights. They just don't have any charge bonuses. Otherwise, they're completely and perfectly equal. But I suppose the French player can also get Chevrolet to make their follow-up engagements much better. While the Roost do have maybe even potentially even better Knights when it comes to Imperial Age with the Poleaxe upgrade. Because plus 4 damage for your Knights is actually incredibly powerful. Problem is, they tend to go for Schultze because it's the counterpart unit for in the archer range, which is also cheaper by a fair margin. Royal Knights moving around. Let's see. Green may grab some deer over here. Got a large number of scouts going for the last remaining deer there. Scout, going to receive a charge attack there. There is a dead end there. Actually, no. According to the mini-map, this area is actually traversable. See, looks like all the deer there's 2 deer remaining. I think green may have dropped deer somewhere. Sometimes very hard to tell. High trade house now being established by the Rus. Faster age up for the Rus player. The French player is actually very far from aging up, spending most of his resources on some additional Royal Knights. And got some archers here. He'll probably go for the veteran spearmen, but he can also go for regular knights. That'll give him a clear advantage as opposed to these Royal Knights. Golden Gate has 4 supply charges available that can fuel a lot of different stuff. The French is, of course, slowly starting to pull ahead in villager counts because this is one of the French natural advantages. They can produce villagers faster. I think right now they have cost 17.5 seconds in this age. Now I got the regular knight upgrade now being researched. Got more stables. Who's eyeing for a bit more stability in his life. We've just got a pretty big line of units coming on forward. Right now the French player has 3,000 army value versus just 1,100. Of course, the Rus player will have some quality active soon. Villagers backing on off, more trade posts or more stables being built. Wooden Fortress is being upgraded with a spring gold. Castle turret's not too bad either. Royal Knights, archers moving around. Scout falls back a little bit, or forward a little bit, one of the 3 directions. Chivalry now being researched, which will give him a little bit of health regen. Doesn't really get a full refund of the upgrade right now, but still always nice to have. Right now, the Rus player right now has 333 gold per minute, while having 0 villagers on gold right now. So that's the power of the bounty system. So it looks like it's about ready to run out of meat. Nope, I see a good number of venison there. I see about 4 deer carcasses. The French player is still not aged on up and still relatively far away. There's also a decent amount of deer here. And if he really wants to, Green could charge forward and grab a deer or 2 with that scout. Regular knights and scout moving around, trying to find another opportunity to gauge. It's like right there. There are some villagers, 2 villagers on the berries. British players about to age on up. I can see an argument for either the Guildhall or the Royal Institute. The Royal Institute will give them a lot more presence on the field, while the Guildhall, of course, is a very powerful economic landmark. Goes for the Guildhall. Looks like only one of those villagers may have went down. So far, he's killed off 2 villagers this game. These guys are being pursued. So he's nice at being picked on off. He only has +1 range armor rather than +2. Gets the townsend arrows. They're doing 7 damage for the additional arrows, so getting +1 range armor is quite important. Royal Knights engaging regular Knights. Regular Knights to fall back. Veteran Royal Knight and Veteran Archery switching on the way for the Russian or for the French player. Armorteers wouldn't be half bad as well. Once the Rus player starts seeing a large number of Arbaletiers, he'll probably start getting some horsemen. Boreas Fortitude horsemen. He right now does not have Boreas Fortitude. Now we do have the abandoned outpost has been unabandoned and re-abandoned. Warrior Monk grabs some relics now. Royal Knights falls up. Oh, charge the way forward. Wait. They carry axes now? Wait. Did they? Oh, this how I did not know about how they changed the weapon model for the Spearman carry for the Rus. I don't think they don't do anything special, but it's been a while since last cast Rus. Maybe the first time it did in this patch. But I didn't realize they now carry the pole axes rather than spears, which I don't like. It's because those pole axes seem like swinging weapons that will be doing something different rather than a stabbing weapon. I don't like that change. I like a lot of changes in the recent patches, but I just don't like that one. It gives the wrong indication of what that weapon does. Because if they do have a different animation for attacking, it could give a misindication of what it does. And that Warrior Monk is going to go down. Became extra holy there. Let's keep an eye on the Spearmen, but they seem to be carrying the spears, those weapons differently. Maybe not. It actually looks a little bit buggy. It looks like they're dragging it through the ground. If they want to give the Rus a special upgrade to upgrade the map to that weapon and change their animation, I'm perfectly fine with that. Maybe like a +2 damage on Spearmen. Don't know how effective that would be for effective Russian composition. Might be decent, I'm not sure. Maybe just +1 damage and changes their weapon as well. But as of right now, the fact that if they keep the same animations while doing nothing, the weapon does not is visually identifiable as a spear. Royal Knights backing on off. Green will pick up the relic. Green has right now 14 Royal Knights there versus 11 Red Knights. So the Spearman straightforward. Got a Wolo there. Okay, does go down there. Green's being pursued. Good amount of damage there on those Royal Knights. Need to fall back. But Chivalry does its work. Of course, there's not a whole lot of follow-up army there. And I didn't take a close enough look at the Spearmen if they have a different animation there. So right now, I would assume this sort of unit now looks like, without the spear, looks like a footman. Looks like something more similar to like a lighter, heavy infantry rather than a spearman. Knights backing off. Good number of Royal Knights here, which all receiving a bit of health regen from Chivalry. Very nice. Of course, as they start attacking, they will disable their Chivalry. Aura's Fortitude now being researched. Blue's not pushed way forward. We now have a forward keep being established by Blue. He's going to try to close out the game now. Pushing forward with how many villagers for building it? I am not sure. Looks like Blue has obtained every single sacred site. Get the sacred site victory countdown in his favor. There's the villagers. Green should have full vision of this. It does have a 1100 food stockpiled up in the guild hall. Let's see, is Green deploying on his siege weapons? Doesn't appear to be. Does have, of course, a keep back here for the cost reduction aura. It looks like Green's not going to stop, or even attempt to stop the keep from going on up. Reinforcing the walls with some more walls. Scout there. Horseman back on off. Got a bit of damage over here. Looks like some more of the Rus horsemen and so some knights broke their way through. But there's too many Royal Knights for Blue to really advance. It looks like he will not take out any of the Royal Knights, even though some are close to going down. Which means this formation then, the couple of severely wounded ones will regenerate some health. More horsemen being savaged by the Rus. The French player just, at this point in time, just needs to scout Spearmen. His Spearmen will be equal to his opponent's Spearmen. But they will also be accounted for the Knights and Horsemen. But the Rus player only has 3 Knights remaining, not 2 Knights. Mostly composed of just Horsemen. Green's army has higher value. Green costs his eye for a trebuchet or 2 to deal with this keep. And Green's even taking time to collect up on this wood. Wait, where's the wooden fortress? Oh, there's the wooden fortress. I was wondering, like, how's this being improved? I don't think the keeps provide that aura, but it looks like the wooden fortress is way over there. As I say, it is actually probably a good idea to go for Castle Turret with this number of villagers nearby, so if you need to get us inside of it, you will have some extra firepower. And Castle Turret's actually a pretty good upgrade. And Castle Watch wouldn't be half bad in this situation as well, to help them just get more spot into this town. Now we've got the trebuchet engaged in the guild hall. Has 2,000 food into it, and withdrawal from it, and age up. Royal Knights pursuing these forces. The red palace now being established over here. With 9 villagers, not too quick. It will give this town center as well as keep an extra Arbos emplacement, giving them a lot of extra good defense. Stone Plaza will be basically permanently secure. Royal Knights push way forward. We'll find a decent number of Rus Knights, but only 7 of them on the field. Guildhall has gone down. Yeah, those spearmen are stabbing with the and bracing poorly with the that war axe thing. Yep, I don't like that change. Now got a green trebuchet firing away. Horsemen push way forward. We'll find these number of villagers, taking a bit of damage there. A good number of these villagers will go down. Of course, the red palace will start ripping apart these horsemen. It does 62 damage each per bolt at an incredibly high attack speed. Mangonels now being deployed in the field, barraging the town center. Got a lot of trebuchets there. Got elite Royal Knights and elite Arbaletiers now being queued on up. Up north. The bar was already down, so I'm not sure what that attack notification was. Maybe, I don't know. Capital is down. Right now, the French player does have 73 villagers versus 81. Two landmarks remaining. You got the School of Cavalry and, of course, the Red Palace over here. Who's broken through that side wall now. Mangonels now advancing. Got a good number of Royal Knights here. No, of course, Royal Bloodline just yet. Mangonels, one does get impaled, two gets impaled. The third will not. Could have easily got it. That would be a bit of a sacrifice for the number of Royal Knights. Blues keeps now under siege. Insufficient stone. Where's Golden Gate? 4 charges. Looks like he just bought some stone recently. So it looks like he had 8 charges, or had 7 charges, or just 3 charges of stone. They now got the Royal Cannon fire away, or just regular cannon. One more volley and that keep should go down. Blue's out of stone once again. Villagers are being queued on off and the keep does go down. Royal Knights charge way forward in very good numbers. Got a very good number of spearmans. And right now the French player was only 11 archers in the field, which is okay. But not enough to deal with all the spearmen quickly. Arbaletiers are not bad. With Gamersons, Arbaletiers effectively a counter to spearmen as well, but he does not have Arbaletiers. We got the much more rare Spretskaya tower being deployed in the field by the Rus. Elite Royal Knights push forward. They may not have Royal Bloodlines, but they're still punching through. The reason why I say Arbaletier is also a bit of a counter to Spearmen is because when they have Gamersons and with like all their upgrades, they get up to like 8 or 9 armor. Right now the Spearman doing 10 or now 11 damage. So let's just say he has 9 or 8 armor. Let's go with 8 armor. That will make, let's say, have them take 3 damage per stab from the Spearman. Not a lot. We do now have Royal Bloodlines being queued on up by the French player. It looks like the abandoned outpost is blocking the deployment of some of these walls. Well, it looks like Green's making his own hole in the wall. Does torch down a couple of these structures. Spitskaya Tower does have 10,000 health and its weapon placement's already upgraded. So it's a very effective fortified emplacement. Royal Knights push way forward, got a good number of spearmen here, but they're just hard or veteran spearmen, not elite spearmen just yet. Elite spearmen is now complete, but maybe a little bit too late. Good number of Arbaletiers push forward. Still also got a decent number of archers in the front for the French player. He's actually built more archers. Has got elite archers. He just needs them to stopgap to deal with these spearmen. And looks like Blue's armor does this great, but the Spitskaya Tower is still standing, but only halfway now. You've got a good amount of siege weapons here, primarily these cannon. Cannon getting some good damage there. Putting some more holes in the Spitskaya Tower. Spitskaya Tower is gating as well. Of course, we'll have a bit of trouble versus this. Now, Boral still has some food left on it. That would have been captured. Probably been eaten by now. Spitskaya Tower does go down. Does a good number of villagers trying to repair it. Out of wood. Remember as well, all landmarks require wood repairing, including fortification landmarks. The board just got cleaned on up. Incendiary arrows not being reached with the French player, not big surprise. That'll be very useful Arbaletiers, and the decent number of veteran archers would not mind having them as well. A plus 3 range damage. The level 3 range damage is still available for the French player. Local doggo demands head pats. And looks like some of these hunting cabins are getting a bit of gold generation there since it was placed in the shrubberies. Each player has 110 villagers. Has an army of 10,000 people versus 12,000. Good number of Arbaletiers. Got good number of spearmen and horsemen. Amazon's still not been researched. Assuming that's still a resource available to the French. Am I crazy? Increase armor by +5, so these Arbaletiers can get up to. They have 2 base armor, so +5 is 7, +3 from here. They can get up to +10 armor. Let's assume they have 10 armor. The spearmen right now have 13 damage. They will only do 3 damage per stab against those Arbaletiers. +4 for the final melee upgrade. And of course a little bit more with the what's it called? Elite armor tactics. But in the end, they will still probably be out DPS by the Arbaletiers in 1v1 combat in melee range. I just want to simply put, Arbaletiers are unusually effective as spearmen. This hunting cabin does have a bit of food generation, you can't be losing it. You also got a high trade house here. Or was there. Maginot is way forward. Royal Knights advancing. This player right now has a large amount of gold stockpiled. Golden Gate, how many charges? 2. I think it'd be a good idea from the take those 2 charges and buy some food. Horsemen right forward, unable to connect the Arbaletiers. It looks like the Rus army is coming piecemeal, not good. Additionally, there's also the rubbled Spitskaya Tower causing multiple issues. Maginot is getting focused on by the cannons. One cannon does go down. Maginot is forward, softening up the Royal Knights. Horsemen and spearmen engaging the cannon. Trebuchet is engaging the capital. Let's see these Royal Knights push forward. Maginot's getting some repairs. It looks like Blue's army will be cleaned up by those Royal Knights. Got the archers and Arbaletiers engaging the various units over here. Overall, I think the Roost player should just focus more on Horsemen. Spearmen are quite unstable versus the heavy cav. And this is going for a Mercy defensive keep here. Some of these villagers are being picked on off. Right now they have similar villager numbers. Trying to repair the high trade house, but nope, he's just collecting up the venison there. That's what's going on. Horseman straight forward. Right now the Roost player's issue is food. He bought stone with the Golden Gate. That's going to keep established there for a little bit extra defense. The Roost player doesn't have too much wood stockpile and has consumed his gold stockpile as well. He has pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel. And now green has 2 Sacred Sites, blue only has 0. Of course, it does have maxed out trade bounties, so it gets plus 50% gathering rate from villagers, and of course, handicap glide plus 4% gold generation rate. Royal Knight, or not Royal Knight, Warrior Monk does go down. Biology almost complete for the Roost player. Green's going for +3 range damage. And looks like Green's also trying to claim this forward gold deposit. We've got still these gold deposits here, and we've got a Roost keep here as well. Got a French keep engaging the wooden fortress there. Those gold possibilities to be claimed. Single Royal Knight protecting it. Green's horseman push right forward. The PvP just a veteran. Yep, they're right now just a veteran. Veteran horsemen right now have 109 health versus the elite horseman over here with 156. Spearmen engaging these Royal Knights, but the Royal Knights getting some great hits there on these villagers. More Spearmen advancing. Stabbing with the axes. Horsemen push way forward. One of those Mangonels do go down. The other two will like to go down. One gets repaired. They'll save that one. High trade house is almost repaired, which will give them a decent amount of gold income, passive gold income. Right now the Roost player is just mass horsemen, spearmen with a couple of Mangonels and going for a couple scouts. Green's now trying to pull out some forward siege workshops here. Here comes some battering rams now advancing. Got these forces backing on off. Of course, arbors and placements firing away from the keep as well, giving a very powerful defensive shot. Battering rams now being cleaned up by those horsemen. Horsemen spearmen push way forward. One single site has been decaptured. Mangonels being slowly picked apart. Also now being cleaned up by the spearmen. I wonder how much is in the guild hall at the moment. Guild hall has been recently withdrawn. He's going for stone now. Got a pair of Balkans push right forward. Horsemen moving around. Now got a big line of basic walls by the French. Looks like this gate will be going down as well. Maginot gets picked up by the horsemen. Or Knight of Hero gets picked on off. More Maginots being caught up by blue. Helps them push right forward. They will get ripped apart. Harvest placement and the cannon placement both at the same range. Capital is now under fire. High Trade House has been completed. Right now providing only about 200 gold per minute. Awesome trophy here does find some spearmen. Awesome engaging the scout. Battering now advancing way forward onto the capital. Golden Gate has 4 charges, almost 5. Battering rams engaging the town center now. Got the poleaxe is upgraded to the Rus, but with the amount of Arbaletiers in the field, it's probably a good idea to go for a night transition. There's not too many Arbaletiers in the field at the moment. Just 12. They're just backing off the various garrisons to hide away. Capital has gone down. Green Spider runs pretty forward, got a good number of villagers there. Cannons push right forward, Spearmen and Horsemen push right forward, get some damage down that keep. Does have Court Architects improve the health to keep. But it's there on those cannons. Cannons do have 10 range, so they have to be at the maximum range to avoid the cannon and arbalist emplacement. Even then, due to the quality of nature of the model, it may not be able to be at beyond max range. Horsemen push forward with some spear and gets good damage. Got a good number of archers and arbaletiers. Got a very large number of Vulcans as well. Always a pretty rare asset, and blue does back the game now. The sand grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Please give me a moment, I do need to utilize the restroom. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see now, is any more replays from him? My nose is starting to run. Let's see. Not that one. Look past this one. I think. Oh, it was on high view. Oh, here's another good length one. Same players. Oh well. You know what? I'm gonna grab a energy drink. And let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on the top right side as the yellow Order of the Dragons, we got a foreign name. So on the bottom left side as the magenta mullions, we got LCSO. Don't know how you were supposed to properly pronounce that, but I just think of CSGO and just think CSO. Could be the same thing, maybe not. Oh, we got an early barracks here. Probably going for some early or regular Gilded Spearmen. Doesn't get any early units to the next age. Yellow will be building out some pit mines here. Of course, Mullions do have a very effective age 1 Spearman, the Donzo. A little bit more expensive, but does get what? +1 armor, +1 damage, and of course the javelin throw, a little bit extra health. Though the Dark Age variant is actually not too significantly better than regular Spearman. I think regular Spearman versus Donzo, the only difference between the two is javelin throw and the +1 melee armor, but when it gets to hardened Donzo, they get a lot of stat bonuses. They do cost, what, 90 resources? 70 food, 20 wood? No? One Gilded Spearman pushed by forward, of course, very different than a regular standard Spearman. Does have 10 damage this age. And also has 1 melee armor as well. Trying to advance this way forward, of course. We do have a relatively early toll outpost, mill there. Not sure why he's be going for a mill there. Yeah, I have no idea why there's going to be a mill there. I can easily see it being next to the berries, but not sure why it's going to be right there. Oh yeah, toll outposts do have javelins rather than whatchamacallit. Does say on max range there. It does have javelins instead of arrows, which I think does a little bit more damage. I can't remember. Of course, there's a down sheep there. Maybe put the mill there next to the down sheep just to get it collected on up. Oh, I just realized there's chickens there. What if more there chickens? Granted, you can't collect them up, and they're completely immobile, so they're just static props. But it could be like Age of Mythology to collect some up from some chickens. Monster Quarry now being put on the field, which can be provide 75 gold per minute or 75 stone per minute. It's generally always just set to gold and forgot about them. You rarely ever see the stone income. Now the toll outpost can get some shots on these spearmen. Outpost it does do arrow damage. Maybe it's just an upgraded arrow. The arrow is actually a javelin slit. Or maybe that's just the Saharan Trade Network. If that may have been just the Saharan Trade Network landmark. I could have sworn... maybe I'm just mistaken. We have an outpost being established by yellow. This sheep here, nice thing about having the sheep right there to be collected from, you can easily get inside the outpost to get some extra defensive arrows. Monster Core is almost complete. The Order of Dragon players looks like appear to be very far away from aging up. Where did all of this gold go? think Yellow invested some sort of gold this age, but I can't tell you for what for certain. Either way, the Mauling player is now aged on up. It looks like Mauling player is just going to do a whole lot of nothing. He does have some safe, small gold deposits up here for another hit mine. Akin Chapel now being deployed on the field. Of course, provides what, 15% faster gathering rate? Yep. And it is going to be next to the gold and wood, and of course the sheep, so it does have good resources all three. Do now the arrow slit upgrade now being researched. Hardened, oh, that's Warrior Scout, not the Hardened Donzo. I always get those two upgrades mixed up. So it looks like I got some Warrior Scout play. This might be for some professional scouts as a possibility. Can't say exactly for sure. We got multiple Warrior Scouts now pushing the way forward. They don't have the professional scout upgrade. Oh, it looks like this is still affected by the bugged out mining pit where it shows the monster core as a mining pit as well. Maybe I'll switch it to it if I just hit next player. It still remains. Of course, got now the outpost upgrade of arrow slit. Warrior Scouts do have good health regen, so this guy will be healed up in no time. Another Warrior Scout straight forward. Villagers trying to stop them. These are dragon villagers, so they're a bit more healthier. They do have 7 damage. Of course, slow attack speed. Warrior Scouts have 7 damage with a slow attack speed, but faster than the dragon villagers. Of course, textiles will put them health up to nearly 100. If you want 100 health villagers, you have to play the Mongols and get improved textiles. I don't think I've ever seen that technology researched. In fact, most improved research I've never seen researched. Because the improved research system for the Mongols is not great. It needs to be reworked. You're now the Mauling player going for professional scouts. Looks like it's going to be has scattered out these venison, and we'll be start claiming it. Yellow is taking time to eat the venison over here with 1 villager, so not too big of a loss of lack of food there. We now have the Hardened Donzo upgrade. Warrior Scout push way forward. Look at some strikes on that 1 villager. Outpost may, well, looks like it will fall back in time, but it easily power build it. Cancels it. And now got the Gilded Spearman falling back. He does have Hardened Gilded Spearman. Professional Warrior Scouts. Professional Warrior Scouts. Yeah, that's adequate enough. Is almost complete to pick up the venison. Looks like these two are heading up here. There is 1 full deer there. Looks like this Gilded Spearman will push way forward. I think he's just abandoned the deer right now. I don't think he's going to claim it. Now I've got a fortified outpost here. Some of these huts are starting going down. And now the venison's being grabbed there. We got 2 Hardened Donzo versus 1 Hardened Gilded Spearman. I think the Hardened Donzo will both generally win this fight out. They both have 1 melee armor. One does have 50% more damage, almost 100% more health. 1 Donzo will go down. House has gone down, or it has been set ablaze. More venison being grabbed. Looks like there are 2 of the deer remaining. Regni's Cathedral now being employed in the field. It's going for a fast age up. Only way that Regni's Cathedral, Bulgar of Paulus can be better than Regni's Cathedral. Regni's Cathedral, if you get 4 relics, Regni's Cathedral always gives you more value. For Bulgar of Paulus, if you only get 3 relics, then it can provide more value if you're producing it 24/7. We got number Donzo there. They could actually load up inside the battering ram, so in case the hardened spearmen come out, they can just quickly engage them. Or they could just simply load up inside of the outpost there and help and provide them fire support that way. Looks like he does drop one of the pieces of venison. That's the last remaining one, looks like. This still says this icon here. Nope, there's still a deer there. Got a scout here as well. Donzo's before. They got a very good spear javelin throw there onto the scout, doing a lot of bonus damage there. It looks like Donzo's just going to stay inside the outpost there. And it looks like one of them did manage to get picked off in time. Villagers taking time to repair up the battering ram. Very nice. Battering ram's currently ungarrisoned. Villager does manage to get a bit of repairs on this outpost. Outpost is focusing on the hardened spearmen. Very nice. Or the gilded spearmen. Hardened gilded spearmen. Goes back there. Maybe pass the village to get some more repairs. Javelin thrower and Donzo there do have a gilded knight on the field. The Molten player is very far from aging on up, so this Gilded Knight has a sheer high qualityness. Very high quality, very high value, costing 480 resources. And Potter should cool off on the Javelin throwers now. He sees the Gilded Knight, go for more Donzo. That's going to be his best option. I haven't mentioned their Javelin throws would be particularly useful. Donzo's Javelin throw does do double damage versus cavalry. Granted, Javelin throw's base damage is not too terrible as well against the Gilded Knight. We'll do 4 damage. Fall back to a scholar or prelate, and he will get healed up nice and nice and healthy. Going from this nice player, hopefully this player is very well versed how to play Command and Conquerors, because you should pull back units to the war factor to get healed on up. In this case, pull back to some prelates to get healed on up. This run, or Gilded Knight is trying to persuade forward. We'll find some wall seconds there. Got a good number of exposed villagers there. 36 damage per melee attack, so we'll double tap the villagers or triple tap them with textiles. Warrior Scout does avoid the wall. Battering ram coming down south once again. More venison being grabbed, I think around from here. It looks like the prelate will drop off the relic inside of the outpost. Do now have a Gilded Knight engaged in the battering ram, which ripped apart in no time. May not get bonus damage, just has very high damage. Javelin throwers do fire a nice good volley there. This guy's quite wounded as well. Don't think. Yep, he should just abandon the garrison right now. There's way too many Donzos. The Gilded Knights can fall back and fall back to a prelate to get healed on up. Another Gilded Knight there. 3 Gilded Knights not enough versus all these Donzo. Villager pops on out, does get a nice spear brace there, and completely surrounded. And will go down. We'll give him a moment. Nope, does lose that one as well. Quite a bit of a loss there. Looks like I got those doggies rolling. Got 1 out of 20 at the moment. Little walls there. You have another mining pit being established by Magenta. Very nice. Though, it's in preparation of mining pit because it's still just age 2. Good number of javelin throwers and Donzo now push way forward. Got the Farmbia Garrison. I can never pronounce these names. Which, of course, now will provide him some unique upgrades to get some nice statted units. I always forget on what they all do exactly. It's usually see the Grand Fulani Corral to get that extra food generation, but you can get some Mansa Musafati Warriors, Mansa Javeliers, or Freeborn Warriors, which I believe Freeborns are a variant of Donzo? I can't remember exactly. Yep, that guy got impaled. Do have some relic equipped emplacements as one arrow selected one here. And right now, yellow has claimed 4 relics and Power claimed 5th one, so the Regnitz Cathedral is going to be at max 100% quality. Let's see, we do have the Veteran Javelin Thrower upgrade and the Hard Veteran Donzo. Gilded Knights moving around. Let's see, where's the fauna of the garrison? Looks like he's researched the Mansa Javeliers. Donzo engaging, but it may not be enough Donzo. Gilded Knights are, of course, of very high quality. It decides to fall back nice and early. Fall back to a Scholar. Also got poison arrows there from the Mansa Javeliers. They do provide the poison effect. There's the one where Donzo needs to keep on running. He has plenty of health. I don't really put much value onto the poison effect, but again, skilled units may be the best time for them. Veteran Mansa Javeliers, these stats seem all the same, other than the fact they have the poison effect now. Everything else seems the same as normal Javeliers. I can always be mistaken. We've got some Dragon Scaled armor. Some Gilded Archers wouldn't be half bad versus Donzo. They will have trouble with the Javeliers, of course, which they are. Those are the anti-range units. Oh, all these guys need Scholars. Look at how wounded those guys. It's going to take a bit of time for Prelates to heal these guys up. All these guys are full health though. Looks like they're also empowered. This may be a time for researching herbal medicine if he is able to do this again and again and again. Good damage there by the Royal Knights. Of course, got this relic improve Springbolt emplacement.
Das soll mich überleben. Was soll ich
We do have multiple battle rams now being established. Very nice. Looks like Magenta's going to try to close out the game sooner rather than later. Mining pit has been established there. Good prep work. Battle rams now advancing. Some of these villagers are going down. Got 4 villagers inside this outpost. They're also fortifying it. This one can receive emergency repairs. Does not receive emergency repairs. I don't think it's any Imams there to grab some relics. Yep, Malian player doesn't. Oh, going for an Imam now. Good number of Gilded Knights here, as well as some Gilded Crossbowmen, but the Gilded Crossbowmen's an interesting option. The Malign player only has one hit unit, and that would be the Sofas. Gilded Knights straightforward. Gilded Archers now being pulled in the field. There are better than Gilded Archers there. Gilded Knights are going to take a bit of damage there from these Donzo, that's for sure. But of course, it's quality versus quantity in this situation. Mercy pairs there, and looks like Magenta has held. And appears to be losing about 2 or 3 Gilded Knights. Looks like 3. Make that 4. We know Yellow has a higher short value than Magenta, but seems relatively even on both sides throughout the entire engagement. Many battery rams now going on the field. Magenta's going to try to close out the game. It looks like the Warrior Scout is getting impaled. Oh, we got some Lance Connects on the field. That's always nice to see. They should be actually particularly useful. There's no dedicated counter on the field to them right now. Yeah, you need to use Archers. Musafati Wars are anti-heavy. Lance Connects are a light unit. The Lance Connects may be a good time to deploy them on the field. Yeah, I do like the Lance Connect deployment. If he doesn't want to go for them in the long term, a small number of them now will be adequate. Lance Connect does see a lot of javelin thrower fire there. Trying to push right forward, trying to take out the batteries. Mercy Repair is active. Looks like the outpost will be saved. But Magenta's having, Yellow's having trouble breaking on through. The number of Dons are still in the field. Gilded Archers being focused down by the javelin throwers. Springald firing away. Looks like Yellow will technically lose the fight. But also, Magenta didn't exactly win the fight. Definitely, Magenta got more destroy value on that engagement. Yellow still slightly ahead. So overall, Magenta did win the fight, but also not really. Yellow hold, I guess both sides won the fight, while both sides lost the fight. Because Yellow just wanted to try to not die. Magenta got more damage done. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's see. Auto Dragon player is far from aging up. Magenta is getting relatively close to aging on up. Has right now 9 cows in the field. Has 4 cattle farms, or soon to be 4. And over here looks like a horseman does find Javeliers. Auto Dragon player's going for more Lance Connects. He's also throwing out some Gilded Man-at-Arms. There are some Musafati Warriors, which can counter the Gilded Man-at-Arms, but both will be in low numbers, so not really counter it. Right now, there's 0 Musafati Warriors in the field now. Another Mercy Repair there. Villager is being tasked off. Pretty wounded there. Right now, Magenta has 75 villagers. Auto Dragon player has 67, 68. Of course, we do have 3 mining pits in the field, each providing 108, so that is 300 gold per minute, which is effectively what? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 villagers worth of gold income? 7, probably around 7 gold villagers worth of gold income. Of course, Auto Dragon does have 28% more effective villagers, so for offhand map, do 25%. There's roughly 20, 18, I would say around 100, at least 80 to about 90 effective villagers. We do have Barons once again goes down. Lance Connect's getting hit a little bit there. We don't have any archers being put in the field yet now by the Mulling player. Still actually getting some Musafati Warriors, but nothing too significant. Got a number of batteries there. Magenta's trying to go for forward keep. Yeah, right now roughly 90 effective villagers for the Order of the Dragon player. So yeah, their economies are probably equal at this moment in time. There's also a number of cows which have not been calculating, so Mall economy is actually maybe slightly ahead at this point in time, an equivalent of 12 cows. Doesn't have a good mini economic upgrades, while yellow does have full economic upgrades, so that maybe evens out once again. When it comes to total income, granted, yellow or magenta does have all 3 6 sites, so if we just look, that is 3,500 versus 4,000. So yeah, it looks like one player does have an economic advantage. Of course, yeah, there's a lot of things that play in the field, because also yellow does have every single relic. But just looking at this up here, it looks like the Mon player is ahead slightly. The number of lands connects in the field, got 10 lands connects, or 10 gilded lands connects. Looks like a knight went down there. Looks like a gilded knight. That would be a quite expensive loss. We do have, yep, a gilded knight heading towards the sacred site here, just trying to stop the sacred site capture. 7 minutes, 5 seconds paused. And I do believe these guys can't rotate down south quick enough, so this sacred site will be decaptured. Does impale that battery ram twice. Oh, he doesn't get the sacred site decaptured. I was mistaken. By this much. Yellow almost has enough gold age on up, nowhere near enough food. The Mongolian player has almost enough gold age on up, nowhere near enough food. With Spotty Wars before, they must have camouflaged the way on in. Mercy Repair could be very useful right here. Not paying close enough attention, and the outpost will go down. Over here, got the decent spear brace there by the Donzo, but got Gano, Guild Knight, and Lance Connects engage these forces. Lance Connects do have faster move speed. Whoa! Gilded Lance Connects have that? Okay, no, those combat spirit. They have regular spearman movement speed. Let's get some good empowerment here. Single battery on Patrol forward. Outpost needs emergency repairs. Receives emergency repairs. Prelates getting porcupine. Good number of Donzo here, so the Royal or the Gilded Knights will have trouble. Got a good number of Gilded Archers there, though. Right now, Yellow may need to get a Trebuchet to help deal with this keep. And here comes the Gilded Lance Connect, still on the field. Yellow may be able to breach his opponent. We'll have a bit of trouble with torch damage against this keep. Then again, these Gilded units do have excellent torch damage, and since they have higher torch damage, means they can overcome the fire armor a little bit more easily. Yeah, the keep's actually taking a decent amount of damage from these units. These units could try to fall back. It's starting to overextend a little bit there. Lance Connects are ripping apart for the Dawn Zone, no problem. Scholar is getting some good health regen there. The keep is getting wounded. Villagers to inside the keep there. Yellow now has brought out counterweight trebuchet. Looks like the Royal Knights going to head to that sacred site there. Only Imam's there to stop them. And all you can do is hurl harsh language. keep will be going down shortly. Does interrupt the decapture there. Takes out one of the Gilded Knights. Villagers are pop on out. Jimmy gets the repairs there. Gilded Archers are advancing onto the villagers. Got a number of Gilded Crossbowmen. I still disagree with them. Gilded Lance connects with the fort, and these guys are super bunched up, so the Gilded Lance connects AoE damage being very useful. Getting repaired on up, with the next trebuchet shot may take it out. Yep, the next trebuchet shot should take it down. The keep does go down. And now Magenta does have a higher destroyer value than yellow. Spring Golem placement does impale that villager. Mauling players are going for some the Mansa Javeliers, which maybe some good horsemen could be a good option for the Order of the Dragon Player. Right now he just only has 2. Those villagers will get impaled. I still got a good number of Donzo Musfati warriors. Last of the Lance connects to go down. Spring Golem Place is still firing away against these units. Looks like one of the villagers take it finished off there. Yellow's advancing, trying to break through this set of walls. Got berries being obtained. While the Malians are Islamic, they don't get the advanced berries. Gate will be set ablaze and will be going down. Level 2 wood collection by the Malian player now. Good number of Gilded Archers, got some Gilded Knights, got some Gilded Horsemen there. A mix of a lot of stuff, let's just simply put. And right now, the Gilded Archers are ripping apart these Donzo, no problem. The Javeliers are not engaging. They're trying to get as much poison damage here, but of course got the Prelates here for a bit of healing. Good number of Javeliers over here. Fort of the Hunters now being... Okay, that's a safer spot. It's like, trying to the Fort of the Hunters there is a little bit dangerous, but he has patched up the wall, the hole. Yellow's forces, of course, are now cut off. So the gate being hit. Fort of the Huntress, pretty sure got cancelled. Because it's rebuilding immediately. Where? Right here. Which allow all infantry unit around the Fort of the Huntress to get the camouflage effect at no speed reduction. Very, very powerful for the Donzo and various other units that don't usually get the ambush. Because by default, only Musfati units get access to the camouflage stance, which is, of course, the Musfati warrior, as well as the Musfati gunner, which is something I always forget about exists. They also are slightly have higher base damage as well, the Musfati gunners. Their cost is still 240, but it's 10 gold more slanted towards cost of 110 food, 130 gold rather than 120, 120, like normal Hank-Years. Gilded Knights engaging these villagers. Javeliers trying to gauge the Gilded Archers. More Donzo just pushing way forward. The Gilded Men-Arms are still a bit of a problem. Fort of the Hunters now complete, which does have poison arrows, if I remember correctly. And the poison's effect is only really useful when fighting its order units. I do believe the fourth Huntress does need a passive ability effect saying, hey, it has poison arrows. There's nowhere it says like, oh, ranged poison arrows, it just says ranged. So a little UI update is needed there, I would say. So if you highlight it, should say, it does say shoot poison arrows, but I think it should match the other poison effects by having this little notification here, poison javelins and poison arrows, that sort of thing. We've got Elsbach Palace not being put on the field rather than the Palace of Swabia. So the rare of the two landmarks is a keep of 15 additional health, and units with buildings around it, this takes less damage. Probably a good idea to build a town center next to the get emergency repairs, and maybe a supplementary keep as well. Of course, just build everything around it and get everything. Elite Javelin Throwers, Elite Musfati Warriors. What was the Monza upgrade he chose? He went for the Monza Freeborn Warriors, which I always forget what these ones are. They're not Donzo. I think they're like a unique standalone unit. Melee infantry, yeah. They are melee infantry, neither heavy nor light. They are not upgraded Donzo. They're not upgraded Musfati Warriors. They are a unique unit for the structure. This effectively gives them the effectiveness of a heavy infantry unit. Doesn't have heavy melee armor, but great range armor. So effectively these guys are good against archers and crossbowmen, since they lack typing either light nor heavy. Their damage is 12 plus 4 versus range, you can see there, and also decent attack speed as well, so give them man-arms attack speed. You also have Musfati Warrior move speed, so these are truly supposed to be like anti-range unit, while still being effectively as a generalist unit. Of course, before the Huntress as well, the two can get the stealth effect. Oh, now they're elite, so they have now 8 range armor. Very nice. Fourth of the Huntress taking some damage there. Cabal has a villager too, just continue repairing it. Cavaliers push forward for some Donzo. $205 health. That seems pretty good. Let's see. I think it's higher than Men at Arms as well. Am I mistaken? Maybe. With the elite armor tactics, it should be pretty healthy as well. Now, a little extra movement speed also makes them very nice to accompany those Musfati Warriors. Just able to get a mobile force. And it looks like these ones managed to push the way forward, taking out some villagers. These forces being pursued. Got some man-at-arms engaging. Lance Connects are once again another good option before yellow. Gilded Crossbows not going to be super great, though Gilded Hand Cannoneers may not be half bad. Those guys do have high range armor, but of course Serpent Gunpowder, as well as just being gunpowder units, they love to hit everything and hit everything pretty hard. Gilded Hand Cannoneers right now have 47 damage. Granted, that one's empowered. They have 41 damage. And Serpent Gunpowder would be very nice for them. We also now have the precision training, increase the range damage of Donzos by 6, archers by 2, and javelin throwers by 3, make his monster javelin throwers even better. And the additional javelin throwers by the Donzo very nice as well. Right now these good archers are doing 10 damage, so they'll do 1 damage per arrow against these freeborn warriors. Very nice. Very nice for Molians, I should say. Culverin firing away, crimson rounds into the 4 of the Huntress. Trebuchet counter-barraging with the outpost. Looks like Mercy Paris has been consumed. Looks like it is in the radius. Looks like a bit of a leap forward with the repair influence. Another trebuchet now deployed in the field. I just clean up some of these outlying structures. Freeborn warriors do cost food and gold. Some of the mana arms. Hand Canyon is firing away with some good archers there as well. Seeing all these skilled hand cannoneers, regular archers may be good as well. Archers do have golden sand for gunpowder. We do have some Musafati gunners now being employed in the field. Javelin throwers may just want to be abandoned. Wait, the monster javeliers also move pretty quickly as well, so we got a pretty decent mobile units. I forgot the monster ones also move faster. So there's another unit in this composition to move quickly. Got the Musafati warriors, monster javeliers, and the freeborn warriors. That little bit of extra movement speed does go a long way. At least make his units go a longer way. Horsemen are getting hacked apart now, of course. Looks like the Moin or the Order Dragon player is not going for elite gilded archers. Doesn't really need the moment, but if there's a large number of Musafati gunners, then he'll start eyeing for more of the gilded archers. That one Donzo will go down. Now there's the freeborn warriors. Magenda's also moved for a round of stone walls there. There's gold plus those 3,000 gold remain. That's still quite significant. Some stone towers could be a good idea. Stone towers, I think, are actually more cost effective than keeps when it comes to DPS. Problem is, stone towers are just never really useful in nearly every single situation. We have this mining pit up here, so Magenta has advanced past those basic set of walls, cleans up all these gilded units. Donzo trying to clip this wall's gate, and looks like these archers may have been moved over here, but they got caught up in the gate. There's one reason why I think most range units in this game should have some sort of form of prioritized fire. It means you can only attack structures if you mainly attack them. That's a bit of Concrete Heroes 2 logic. For the 106 damage there, good enough those are trying to repair it or garrison in it. The poison arrows will be quite nice. Musafati gun is firing way back here. A little bit outnumbered though. Gilded hand cannons do move relatively quickly when they have fired a shot. Thanks to circling gunpowder. Some of these guys are being picked on off. We also have some traders over here. I did not see those. He does have some cool outposts here as well. Well, I should have put in the corner to get more trade value. And in this case, be safer. Donzo trade forward will find a number of these gilded mana arms. Magenta's starting to disintegrate a little bit. Maybe not. Magenta also has an army in the backline of Yellow. Yellow has right now 89 villagers for 125, add 28%. So, and looks like Order Dragon's probably still behind, but nothing too significant at the moment. Magenta's trying to grab some reinforcements there, slowly building on this force. Magenta's force over here still causing issues for Yellow, but should be cleaned up relatively soon. The Mulling player is very behind on trying to get remax out. Yellow is doing better at that aspect. Horseman trying to take out these trebuchets. If he goes unprecedented, he will be successful. Well, the Dragon player doesn't have too big of a stockpile, running pretty low in gold. has a bit of wooden food, so maybe some cheap units, trash units would be useful. Mine player has some sim as well, out of gold, but plenty of food and wood, more so in this case. So maybe deploying out a handful of maybe just Donzo, supplementary Donzo can't bad. Villagers trying to prep this wall segment, but they're dancing around. Prelate of a relic does get inside of this Elksbox Palace. Can you not drop the relic on the inside of it? That looks like a misclick. I wonder, can you drop the relic inside of it? Oh, either way. I rarely have seen this thing being deployed in the field. Yep, there it goes. I think it's just a misclick. Reborn Warriors straightforward. We'll find a handful of these dragon villagers. Large number of guild horsemen trying to retaliate. Freeborn Warriors going to just be pursued by the horsemen. Thanks to the horseman's higher moves, he's able to keep up these Freeborn Warriors a bit more easily. Fortified outpost being put up in magenta. And got the fort of the Huntress getting hit a bit more. Stone walls have been reestablished. Mine player has a decent amount of food and gold. No wood. Going for a round of Elite Donzo. So Mine player needs to pull out some more, get some more lumberjacks in the field, but does have a decent amount of wood income. Siege weapons would be an issue though. The Order of Dragon player is scraping the bottom barrel of all the resources. Hopefully does have, whatchamacallit. Yep, does have Tide Bard. Yellow right now has 89 villagers, effectively 125 villagers versus Magenta's 137 civilians. That may be a little bit too much, because right now Yellow has a higher army quality. One player does not a massive float of resources, but has a massive queue going. 25 Musafati gunners queued on up. And the Javeliers can get on top of wall segments, get increased range armor, siege armor, and range. Of course, this is a relic equipped landmark, so it has pretty good damage. The cannon shot does 90, Spring Gold does 72, and the range is 11. Trebuchets have a range of 16. Musafati gunners here in good numbers, gain some good hits there on these elite mana arms. Dragon Cannoneers, Hand Cannoneers firing away, but getting focused out by the Monso Javeliers. More Musafati gunners in large numbers. So Magenta has a higher quality thanks to the deployment of those monster gunners. Plus, Royal Dragon players having trouble remaxing, go for more Dragon Cannoneers or Horsemen. At this point in time, some Mangonels may be in order, or needs to make an order of them. Culver's starting to get some damage. It was empowered. I didn't realize you can empower siege weapons. Those can. That will make them much, much better. Do now the Fort of the Huntress taking some damage there. More Donzo straightforward. Keep set of fire. Fort of the Huntress set of fire. Ablaze. More Donzo, more Musafati gunners. Got more Dragon Cannoneers as well as Gilded Archers. Both sides are just sending units to the slaughter. Both sides have relatively equal destroy value. Now this side's getting a full edge. For the Huntress is set ablaze, but getting repaired on up, but getting some bigger holes into it. Fourth Huntress barely standing. Musfati Gunners in a good angle, but the Gilded Horseman does good damage. One more Trebuchet shot, and the Fourth Huntress does go down. Villagers being picked on off, and now Cineblaze, no more villagers repairing it. And there goes the Fourth Huntress. But still a massive number of Magenta units here. Magenta has 155 versus 144. Magenta's doing a better job of re-maxing. More traders being put on the field. Oh, a 6% victory for Magenta. This one can be decaptured relatively easily. Just send around with battering rams. Reborn Warriors push forward will find some string golden placements, but that 3-minute counter in favor of Magenta is quite important. One of these good horsemen needs to get on top of that sacred site. It looks like free game, free real estate to get that decaptured, but it can be interrupted. Will be untamed. Musfati Warrior camouflage on the way forward. They should be revealed soon from the fortress. Does get revealed there. Trying to go for the trebuchets. 400 getting mass repairs there. Just Gilded Horseman back here. Gilded Horseman's back here. Yellow's now pushing forward over here, taking the lumber camp, showing who's boss. This keep does have a cannon placement. Need at least getting on top of the secret site there, stop the decapture. No siege engineers to deploy. Oh no, pop cap, that's why I can't. Oh, that's probably because I'm looking at blue. It can deploy some battering rams, does have siege engineers. Reborn Warriors push forward with some Musfati Gunners advancing. Musfati Gunners do move at 1.25 rather than the faster Freeborn speed. Villager stays on top of the secret side there, just trying to prevent the decapture. Very nice. Yell's pushing some force and battering rams, does have a keep here. Musfati Gunners here in very good numbers. Gilded Archers technically counter them. They do have good bonus damage versus them. But they're in small numbers and in range. I don't think he's a research sick bowstring, has he? Maybe he has, not sure. Veteran does go down there. Could actually eye for this second site, but there's the Fourth Huntress now rebuilt Trebuchet. Nothing threatened down here. There is a hole there, so streaming some units down there is a possibility. Doesn't require a siege tower either. Trying to interrupt the decapture there. 1 minute 42 seconds. Well, has some time, but not a whole lot of time. Culverin firing away. More Dragon Cannoneers. No Silk Bowstring researched. Maybe been an oversight there at this point in time. Yellow does have some gold reserve, lacking food. That's this biggest problem right now. Having trouble remaxing because of lack of food. Magenta has a good gold and food reserve, so right now Magenta at the current rate will win. Magenta's also reinforcing this area with more stone walls. Grabbed a couple more villagers. One villager is simply not enough. Elspach Palace now under siege, and it's drawing a lot of attention from Yellow. It will consume wood, which he has less wood than stone at the moment. It's going to be a bit of a problem there as well. 1 minute remaining. Reborn Warriors can still cause some issues. Right now I have 11 range armor. And these Gilded Archers have 12 damage. So they, even with plus 1 damage, they will only want to do 1 damage to the Freeborn Warriors. You'll need Incendiary Arrows to do anything more, but too late at this point in time. He has no resources at the moment. Mine player has another 34 seconds. Wall still being built. Battering ram being sent over there. Yellow's not exploiting the breach. Yellow does also lacking wood for battering rams. Has one culvert for a siege weapon, which is getting hit by the various cannons. Keep actually made one duel between the two at the current rate. Does have village repairing. Second side has been paused at 4 minutes. There's too many Musfati gunners. Yellow can't even win the fight. Now it's starting to count down, and that's game. That's this Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I start the next replay, I do need to use a restroom again. Please give me one moment. My apologies, I am back. Probably have time for one more replay. Let's see now. Let's see if your replays are open to the public. Oh yeah, I only have 20 gigs of hard drive space left, so probably only have enough room for one more replay. And this one seems, well, good enough. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom or top right side as the green House of Lancaster. House of Lancaster, we got Kiljardy. Spawn on the left side as the magenta Ottoman, we got Liquid Demu. Looks like going around for a bit of stone into the Imperial Academy, I'm guessing, or military school. Yes, he will. When it comes to map generation, let's see, we've got a deer deposit, 2 gold and stone here, quite a bit congested resources here. Magenta has some 3 safe gold deposits back this direction. It looks like there's actually a natural there. Look at that distance for that gold. That seems particularly far. Maybe that's that's actually the natural, isn't it? Seems a little bit far, but it's also a little bit uphill. Not really. Additional things to note when it comes to map generation. Let's see, you got deer deposit here, we got a Castle Lancaster here in between all the gold, so it's going to get some good defense as well as some good economy with the future manors. We got Pumbaa and deer up north of a pile of berries, but neither side has improved berries. It looks like Magenta's going to take time to herd some deer. If he needs the sheep over here sooner, he can just simply order them to walk over there. One of the deer is spread a little bit wide. We do now have the twin Medorace being employed in the field. And some of these deer may scatter. Yep, looks like the final bit of the deer herding did get knocked around a bit because the village was nearby. Not a massive issue. Green Scout there. And we got the Spearman push way forward. Castle Lancaster is basically a glorified outpost, but makes all of its nearby manors also glorified outposts. Twin Medorace almost completed in the field, which will effectively give them 4 villages worth of good food income. It's effectively 4 villages on board permanently. It is better than a lot of counterparts. I think the closest counterpart to that would probably be the Cura storehouses, which can give you more farms. Well, of course, regular farms. Spearman just moving around. Sheeple has been obtained. Magenta could try herding these deer back home. It's just a deer deposit of 5, so it's not a big deer deposit. It's a small deer deposit, but not a small one in the form of 3 deer. These other ones are also 5 deer deposit, but they are next to boar. But of course, Ottoman, being Islamic, can't eat boar, because pig is haram. Do now these scout escorting these sheep. Magenta dropped off some sheep there. First Vizier points almost available. Multiple manors now being employed in the field. Will soon have to be 3 out of 3 manors, but going for the condensed land practices research soon. First Vizier points probably pretty close. Does stab one of the sheep. Sheep is down. One more experience point for, experience point for a Vizier point. Does have it available. And does go for Antony Hills. Give him 10 sheeple and of course improves mining speed by 15%. So he has a lot of food at home. He has 24 sheep, which each one carries 200 food, so that's 4,800 food. Get another sheep, and you have 5,000 food in storage. You now have some Sipahi on the build queue, the heaviest of the light cavalry. Good number of manors there. Completely surround this gold deposit. Maybe the next set of 3 manors should be near the stone and gold. But then again, the manors may provide a basic defensive arrow emplacement, but also taking out those manors is a high priority target because each one provides a decent amount of income. So you don't really want to push them too far forward. Actually getting behind the Castle Lancaster is actually quite important. He's now going for the muster of nobles for some demi-lancers. You will have these number of demi-lancers. I still don't really understand these guys all too much. They are horrible in damage. They are classified as heavy cav. They do have 2/2 armor, so some of the sofas in that aspect, and some less. Wait, that's less health than supply, isn't it? What's the Sipahi? They have less health, less damage. What's their attack speed? Standard 9 attack speed, but they have less DPS, less damage than the Sipahi in 1v1 combat. But of course, it is a spawn of 8 of them very quickly. I never understand demi-lancers. You can only really deploy them out in large numbers from the Wormguard Palace. But even then, I don't, even if they get, like, say, +4 damage for +4 keeps, I don't think that's worth it still. Sipahi are going to be perfectly adequate when fighting against demi-lancers. He does have a handful of spearmen still left over. They will be still quite nice in this aspect, even if they are just Dark Age spearmen. We've got the veterans or hardened spearmen now being researched by the House of Lancaster, which they can get the Billman upgrade, which makes them very reasonable versus heavy targets. We got some yeomen being put on the field, so overall I think more Sipahi will be very useful, but he is starting pulling some spearmen to go along with him, so some archers will still be needed in order. Though maybe going for a point into the Akinji system. they get these unique cavalry archers. I can't remember what the stats are. I've seen them like once or twice before, but that was when like their first release. Spahi do fall back, there is a scout to scout for them. Good number of Spahi in the field, 6, soon to be 8 Spahi. Number of battering rams in the field. Most of the House of Lancaster players are going to try to close out the game sooner rather than later. Battering rams now advancing. Mehed, Imperial Armory being deployed in the field. I always like seeing the other landmark, because now with the more Vizier points, there's actually a lot more valuable things you can get with Viziers. Towns are taking some damage there. This is a secondary town center. While I just get the village, evacuate the villagers out of there. Got the Billman upgrade. We do have textiles researched by the Autumn player, and he has plenty of food back here in the meantime. And with Billman, his spearmen will be decent versus any man-at-arms. But of course it'll be Castle Age man-at-arms versus Feudal Age spearmen. So, not great. Veteran Sipahi research on the way. I think man-at-arms would be a good item. There is a metro on the build queue for this military school. Military school does go down, a bit of a loss. Taking the housing is actually quite important right now. 61 out of 70 population. Spahi push way forward. They can activate fortitude to really pick up these battering rams. He still has some Dark Age spearmen left over on the field. Enemy Lancers are advancing. That's actually a safe engagement. Yeomen right now have 6 damage. Veteran Sipahi right now has 4 range armor. They get the 5 with the Blacksmith research. Make them effectively take 1 damage from the Yeomen. So right now these Sipahi are going to be very excellent, barring the Billmen on the field. Another scout moving around.
It shall be timbered.
Battering ram now being built. We have these Billmen heading down south with the Yeomen. Villagers could be hit here. I don't know if Green actually has vision of them all too well. Line of sight vision. And Head Imperial Armory may actually go down here. He's trying to repair it up for some villagers. But he's out of wood. He, I think, bought some wood there. He's going to lose some of these villagers here. Spahi trying to find the Yeomen. Some of the Demi Lancers find some villagers. Those are going to stand and fight. They will actually do decent versus the Demi Lancers. Free Maginot now deployed in the field, and the Hidden Imperial Army has been saved. And the village count has been called down, so they're equal once again. He did go for these cavalry archers. Okay. Let's see. They do cost 80 in wood as well, not a gold unit, which is a good alternative for some of these units, especially compared to Janissaries. And he is deploying out one now, and he actually has a handful in the field. Let's see if we can't find one. That's Spahi. Here we go. 9 damage, a burst of 2. That is interesting. It's relatively slow attack speed. Their tile range is 4.5, so much higher than Megidai. But they offer, so they're high damage, but less effective versus armor. So against Billmen and against the Yeomen, they will do some good damage. They have 105 health, which is higher than most other cavalry archers this age. So they're a little bit more durable than most, I think, horse archers. Yeah, horse archers are, the Roost horse archers like 90 health. I forget what Magidais are at this age. But Magidai is also more expensive. Of course, they're not out on the field in large numbers, but they have also slow attack speed. Yeomen still in very good numbers, so most probably still in order. Man-at-Arms and Lancers will both be very useful. We've got now Spring Guard production from the Hidden Imperial Armory, very nice. Sipahi is at 5 range armor, thanks to nearby Metter, very, very nice. +1 range armor is going to be very useful if he goes for it. Or +2 range armor. Metter does go down. Yeomen do have good range though, that's the big problem with these cavalry archers. Akanji, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to try anymore. House of Lancaster has exactly 0 gold. How did he manage that? Arm player does have a decent gold reserve. Sipahi and Akanji, they can be a pretty good, nice combo. Sipahi do move slower than most of their cavalry. These Akanji do move at night speed. Hope we got some Hoblars, which is the cheap cavalry variant for the House of Lancaster. That should be particularly effective versus these Kinjis. They do have retained 3 range armor of horsemen, so they can resist quite a bit of the burst damage from these Kinjis. And they do retain horse move speed, they just have less damage and less health. Overall, it seems like Sipahi is still a very good choice for the house, for the Ottoman player. Though he still has a good number of spearmen in the field, the billmen. Now, if these siege weapons are getting hit by the Hoblars, they do have only +7 versus siege. Nothing too significant. Now got the billmen taking out the Sipahi, taking them on good pretty quickly. They're just repairing up that Maganel. Right now, I think just Man-at-Arms would be the best option right now for the Ottoman player to deal with this force. He has killed 1 archer. And these yeomen do have an intermediary fast speed. So they're faster than normal spearmen, certainly faster than Men-at-Arms. But they're slower than other fast units, such as Palace Guard, Musfadi, and Musfadi warriors. And now got the Sipahi managed to engage these units. Looks like he does have the... that was just a metric improving their attack speed. Not many spearmen nearby. He could perhaps use the Fortitude ability. Got some villagers getting hit there, so he will lose a handful of villagers. Which I didn't know has less villagers in the House of Lancaster. Plus, there's also 6 remainers in the field, so the House of Lancaster has pretty good economy. Yeah, the Ottoman player may need to rebuild a town center. Couple spearmen push way forward. The Autumn player only has +1 range damage. Is going for +1 melee damage, +1 melee armor. And let's see, how many military academies does he have? Oh, should be a military academy counter up here for the Autumn player. So he has all 4 of them on the field. Also Vizier points. He has almost another Vizier point available. Has +1 military campus. So he has 2 more Vizier points he can get this game. A lot of good stuff he can get. I'm not a big fan of Janissary companies. We probably will see advanced academies at minimum. And then he has a good choice of the last final tier. Does get advanced campus. This is the economic benefit right now the Autumn player really has. Let's see, each spot he comes out every minute 20. Each spot is worth 160. So minute 20, divide that by 16 by 40, or 4, which equals 40, times that by 3. So each military academy is providing approximately 120 resources, or 3 villagers worth of income in direct unit fabrication. So 4 times 3 is 12. So add plus 12 villagers here versus the plus 12 villagers here. So that's relatively equal at the moment. Of course, Hidden Imperial Armory is providing the Spring Guard. I think it's like 1 every 60 seconds right now, which is pretty good value there as well. And Spring Dolls are worth 250. So effectively another good hit there. 4 more villagers worth of income. And House of Lancaster player is still in age 2. Autumn player is still age 3. Hasn't really used much high-tech units. Does have the veteran upgrades. Going for some Janissaries. Janissaries will be good versus the Hoblars and decent versus Spearmen. We'll have trouble versus the Yeomans, of course, because Yeoman gets bonus save versus light gunpowder. Battery Rams now moving down south. Got a bit of a choke point there. Some of these villagers are getting hit. Bit of a problem there for Magenta. Mangonel's getting some great splash damage there. Just have mainly control them to focus on the groups. Some of these villagers are falling back now. There's another 55 villagers, which is still a bit of a problem for Magenta. Only has 1 level 2 upgrade, and that's for Wood Collection. And overall, Magenta has now a much higher destroyed value. Now the quality of his units, since he has now a decent amount of force in the field, the quality of his units are starting to reign supreme. House of Lancaster is about ready to age on up and just needs a little more gold. Probably go with the White Castle. Or White Tower, I mean. The White Tower now being deployed in the field. Somewhere. Way up here. Relatively greedy. This map it doesn't have too much gold left on it, does it? We got this very small gold deposit, 1600. We got this 4,000 gold deposit. Yeah, this map is running out of gold pretty quickly, isn't it? This map must be pretty scarce in gold. Which means I think the Autumn player should go for the trade bags Vizier point. He can rely on non-gold units. He does have Sipahi in the Cavalry Archer. But of course, Janissaries is still pretty much a primary unit of the Ottomans. Magenta's now pushed way forward there. The White Tower will be established next to this gold deposit. Just got this gold deposit now trying to be obtained by Green. Magenta though still is claiming from this gold deposit here and does manage to get 3 relics claimed. 4th relic picked on up. 5th of the relic here. We do now the veteran yeoman. And the veteran billman upgrade. Imam will go down. Vegeta's now spot the White Tower by kicking himself in the head. Not seeing that being deployed there. Got some pole blowers down south. Of course, going for the White Tower does give him, what, 3 Earl's Guards, some free heavy infantry units there, which can throw daggers. Probably just gonna chase these guys down. Yep, just send those guys out and send units back up north. Try and protect the venison collection, which is almost complete. Gold deposit here, of course. Let's see. Final 0 points almost available. Do now have the units pushed forward. There's a large number of exposed villagers there. Nice little bit of tag off there. Does finish off one of those villagers. Spearman pursuing. Of course, House of Lancaster is English variant, so it does get the ×2 arrow in town centers, and now will run by all these manors. Last gold is being obtained. The 0 point is available. This is 0, but clearly he has not selected a 4th thing. Just ignore that. Just keep this open now so we can see what it goes for. May not be using it anytime soon. Got a segment of walls there. And we've got the billmans and yeomans right here. Looks like Magenta's getting surrounded. Does have the pierce armor. Gonna just try to run it out of there. Earl's Guard throws his daggers. And his forces to fall back. Meteor does go down. Will run by. Nope, does not necessarily run by the White Tower. Villagers trying to set up next to the stone deposit. And not put another military school. Green's going for 4 to keep. Overlord is pushed forward. Earl's Guard throws a dagger against one of the villagers. Jenna's army is 43 with 16 village population in the Spring Gulls. Does pull back away from keep. Short bows fire there. Got precision volley there. Good shots there. Looks like Green's arms getting ripped apart by the Spring Gulls. Keep all should be cancelled. Let the villagers run on out of there. That was very, very much in favor of Magenta. Just managed to get a great engagement there. The Spearmen did not last long enough to deal with the Spahi because of those Spring Gulls. And it looks like the House of Lancaster player is actually blowing out a large number of Earl's Guards. The Autumn player does have a decent amount of reserve resources, but not probably on the age up anytime soon. Going for more economic upgrades. Let's see. Got some farms being salvaged there. Maybe a good idea. Just go for another mill just to get better collection. Autumn player has claimed 4 relics. The 5th relic is still here, which could be grabbed. If the Imam head sounds comes up from the south, grab the relic and go stay for the shrubbery. Could be able to grab it for a quick snatch. Probably does find some more green villagers since Magenta is able to push forward, able to get some good engagements. Earl's Guards push way forward. They, I think, almost identical to Man-at-Arms this age. The only thing that's unique about them is they get +1 damage per keep. And of course they have the dagger attack as well. Otherwise, it seems like the same as Man-at-Arms. They cost the same as Man-at-Arms as well. Oh, looks like he went for the early Great Bombard. I disagree with that. With lack of gold on the map, I think trade bags would have been better. Spahi pursuing those knights. These Spahi are quite wounded at the moment. Last set stone has been obtained by Magenta. Not enough stone for anything, really. And looks like Green has a massive stone reserve. I swore I just saw gunpowder shots there. But I was mistaken. You can, House of Lancaster can get early gunpowder units, early hand cannoneers, but of course that requires the other Age 3 landmark. The very fine bombars push right forward. Of course, it is early, so does deal less damage. Looks like the +3 mana count research has recently been researched. Magenta has a very good number of spring balls from the Imperial Armory. He currently is pop cap as well, or maybe not. That village gets sniped by a 600-pounder. Historically, if I remember correctly, granted each one of these bomb bars are basically unique from each other, but they usually fire 600-pound granite balls, or really any stone they can find nearby to shape into the proper cannonball. But granite cannonballs, 600 pounds, is a lot of weight. Back then, cannons were designed to smash, not pierce, but I'd still be very interested in what it looks like for one of these things to be fired against an Abrams tank. What would happen if an Abrams tank that gets hit by a 600-pound granite ball? Good shots there onto the keep. Istanbul Observatory now being pulled in the field, improving the production speeds of the Blacksmith Aura to 100%. Keep taking some damage there. Mangonel's straightforward, starting to stone these villagers to death. Of course, upon aging up, this Great Bombard will be get some upgrade damage. Right now it does 55, 400 versus buildings, and soon now does 70, 525. We do now have the Elite Janissaries, Janissary Trench Guns, and Elite Spahi, and as well as some great precision shot there, out of stone as well, and some biology. Keep gets quickly torched on down. They'll just need to keep on running. Trying to stall off for these elite upgrades, trying to go for a timing attack or timing defense. Green is out of gold. Now Now I got these knights pushing along the flank. Just regular old knights. Nice being pursued by the elite Spahi. They do split up. Spahi push way forward. Now the Akin will push way forward. Decent damage there. Some of these farms are getting set ablaze by rocks. Precision volley does get dodged. Knight still being pursued. Magenta does have less villagers than his opponent. And the House of Lancaster player has no gold income. There is still this one gold deposit in the field. There's enough gold from the Age Uplift. Spahi now charging forward. Does find Earl's Guard. Janissary's advanced before. They will see opponents in from the Yeomans. Janissary is in pretty good concave there. How many metas does he have? There's 9 metas on the field. That may be over amount. But Green's army does get crushed by the high qualityness of Magenta. And without any gold for high quality units to help hold back these units, he may run into some big issues. Spearmen and the Billmans would be very useful. Yeomans still be useful. The problem is, that's a lot of spring golds as well. So the Billman won't last very long. Playing around the White Tower is probably the best course. I actually can't afford a siege weapon, but here comes Spahi. With biology as well, they have a pretty high quality to their nature, 275 health. They're effectively fighting Age 3 Knights at this point in time. The Magenta smashes his way forward there. Siege weapons, of course, spring balls won't do much for the various structures. Probably could just try to find as much reinforcing military and villagers. Maybe split them off into multiple groups. 2 groups to find villagers, 1 to find the military reinforcements. Let the single Great Bombard engage the White Tower. And among everything else. He is sending these reinforcements, and these are mostly yeomen. Not too many Billmans here. Another group is probably trying to find some villagers. A very fine Bombard needs to start putting some more rounds of the White Tower. Or just have Green back in the game. As Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, I am out of hard drive space, so everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.